the first thing I want to do is scale down customer and drop and recreate the customer database, because I know this will cause me issues. So before, remember, I had 2 replicas up and running for customer, and because one pod created a database and then the second one came along and then also destroyed a couple of things, then I know this will cause me issues. So let's first scale down customer. So kubectl and then scale -- replicas equals to 0, and then say deployment and then customer. There we go. So now that we have 0 instances of customer, so if I say kubectl get pods, you can see that customer, it's no longer here. Let's go ahead and run some commands inside of our Postgres pod. So psql, so kubectl exec it postgres -- psql capital U amigos code, and here let me just say drop database and then customer, and you only have to do this if you have more than one replica for customer. So there we go. Now instead of dropping, I want to create the database again, so we're going to need it. So create database and then customer. All right, so now I'm going to press Ctrl D, come out. Let's scale customer again. So instead of 0, we want 1 back. There we go. You can see deployments, apps customer scaled. And if I say kubectl get pods, you can see that customer will be up and running in a second. So don't really trust this right here. That's because we don't have any liveness nor readiness probes configured. But our application really takes about 10 to 12 seconds to be up and running. So this now is up and running. Now let's have a look at the services. So kubectl get svc, and we have customer, fraud, notification. Now fraud and notification, these are internal, can only be accessed by internal pods, but customer is type load balancer as well as Zipkin. Now you saw that if we want to access our load balancers, we can just say mini cube and then tunnel. Now I need to add in my password because of port 80 needs privileges. So add in my password, enter, and as always, wrong password. And there we go, it works. Now let's open up Postman and we can send a request to customer on this port, which is 80. So before we were accessing on 8080, but because we've changed the service to listen on port 80, we just have to say localhost, and then let's send the same payload as usual. And this time the request should go through all microservices. So send, and check this out, 200 status code, which means that it did work. Now we can go and check the logs and all that stuff in the database, but I can guarantee you that it works because of the status code. Let's also check Zipkin. Zipkin is listening on localhost 9411, and let me just refresh this. There we go. And I can even go to dependencies, and this should show me all the dependencies. But have a look, currently customer pushes to the queue, notification picks it up from the queue, and then we have customer as well that talks to notification. So this is kind of cool. But what I want to show you are the traces. So I want to run the query, and we no longer have Eureka server sending a bunch of noise, but have a look, we have the request with 6 spans. And before, I think we used to get 8. Click on show, and there we go. You can see that this is working beautifully. If you had any issues getting this far, please do let me know. Otherwise, catch me on the next one.